Vegetarianism in religions.
The Baha'i faith.
What will be the food of the future? Fruit and grains. The time will come when meat will no longer be eaten. Medical science is only in its infancy, yet it has shown that our natural diet is that which grows out of the ground. The people will gradually develop up to the condition of this natural food. Abdul-Baha, The Days in the Light of Akkar.
Question: what will be the food of the united people? Answer: as humanity progresses, meat will be used less and less, for the teeth of man are not carnivorous. The human teeth, the molars, are formed to grind grain. The front teeth, the incisors, are for fruits, etc. It is therefore quite apparent, according to the implements for eating, that man's food is intended to be grain and not meat. When mankind is more fully developed, the eating of meat will gradually cease. Abdul-Baha'i, The Promulgation of Universal Peace, U.S. Baha'i Publishing Trust.
The Bhiksu Sangha Buddhist Association.
If we, humankind, have wisdom and can discriminate between the good and bad, we should consider, to be human means to kill not, and to not have the heart to eat the meat, bone, and the blood of sentient beings. The Book of Truth.
We should learn to eat vegetables and fruits and let our mind free, so we may become God, Buddha. The Book of Truth.
If you know the animals were killed for meat, but we still eat, we're already committing the sin of killing. If because of us the animals are killed, then the sin belongs to us, and the soul of the dead will resent us, not the killer. If we are willing to eat that meat, that shows that we are cruel and ruthless. Therefore, only a ruthless heart can eat meat, or that meat-eaters have a ruthless heart. The Book of Truth.
Buddhism.
At that time, Arya or sage, Mahamati, Bodhisattva Mahasattva, said to the Buddha, Bhagavan, or world-honored one, I see that in all worlds, the wandering in births and deaths, the enlaced animosities, and the falling into evil paths are all caused by meat-eating and cyclical killing. Those behaviors increase greed and anger, and make living beings unable to escape from suffering. That is truly very painful. Arya means sage. Bhagavan means world-honored one. Lankavatara Sutra.
If any of my disciples does not honestly consider that and still eats meat, we should know that he is of the Kandilas or killers lineage. He is not my disciple and I am not his teacher. Therefore, Mahamati, if anyone wished to be my relative, he should not eat any meat. Kandila means killer. Lankavatara Sutra.
Monks, a householder follower should not engage in 5 types of business. Which 5? Business in weapons, business in human beings, business in meat, business in intoxicants, and business in poison. Vanija Sutta.
Ananda, if living beings in the 6 worlds of existence cease to kill, they will not be subject to the continual rounds of births and deaths. How then can those who practice great compassion feed on the flesh and blood of living beings? Surangama Sutra.
The Buddha told Mahamati, meat-eating has countless offenses. All bodhisattvas or spiritual practitioners should cultivate their great mercy and compassion so that they should not eat meat. Bodhisattvas means spiritual practitioners. Lankavatara Sutra.
Ananda, those practices who wish to enter the state of samadhi or holy communion should first observe strictly the rules of pure living to cut lust from the mind by abstaining from meat and wine. Ananda, if they do not abstain from carnality and killing, they will never escape from the 3 worlds of existence. Samadhi means holy communion. Surangama Sutra.
Eating meat destroys the seed of compassion, and a meat-eater's every action will terrify all beings due to their bodily scent of meat. Mahaparinirvana Sutra.
Bhagavan, or world-honored one, people who eat meat are destroying the great merciful seed of their own. Thus the people who practice the holy way should not eat meat. Bhagavan means world-honored one. Lankavatara Sutra.
If a man can control his body and mind and thereby refrains from eating animal flesh and wearing animal products, I say he will be liberated. This teaching of mine is that of the Buddha, whereas any other is that of evil demons. Surangama Sutra.
Those who renounce the flavor of meat can taste the flavors of the true dharmas, or true teaching, truthfully practice the bhumi, or stage, of bodhisattva, or spiritual practitioner, and attain anuttara samyak sambodhi, or supreme perfect enlightenment, quickly. Dharma means true teaching, bhumi means stage, bodhisattva means spiritual practitioner, anuttara samyak sambodhi means supreme perfect enlightenment. Lankavatara Sutra.
Mahamati, I see that living beings are in the transmigration of the 6 paths, being together in births and deaths, and then give birth to and foster each other's, and cyclically becoming fathers, mothers, brothers and sisters of each other's. They may also be born in other paths of animal, ghost, god, and so on. Whether virtuous or evil, they frequently become the relatives of each other's. Because of these relationships, I see that all meat eaten by living beings are of their own relatives. The 6 paths: God, human, asura, animal, hungry ghost, hell being. Lankavatara Sutra.
I stipulate that you should not even eat meat, blameless in the 3 respects. Even those meats other than the 10 previously forbidden kinds should be abandoned. The meat of corpses should also be abandoned. All creatures can recognize a person who eats meat, and when they catch the odor, they are frightened by the terror of death. Wherever that person roams, the beings in the waters, on dry land, or in the sky are frightened. Thinking that they will be killed by that person, they even swoon or die. For these reasons, bodhisattva, mahasattvas, or great saints, do not eat meat. Even though they may appear to eat meat on account of those to be converted, since they do not actually eat ordinary food, then how much less so meat. Mahaparinirvana Sutra.
Bodhisattvas or spiritual practitioners should discern that all meat are from the filthy bodies, which are combined by pus, blood, dirtiness, red bindu or bright drops, white bindus of the parents. Thus, discerning the dirtiness of meat, bodhisattvas should not eat meat. Bodhisattvas means spiritual practitioners. Bindus means bright drops. Lankavatara Sutra.
All meats are like the dead bodies of human beings. The cooked meats are as stinky and feculent as the burned dead bodies. So how could we eat such things? Lankavatara Sutra.
Meat eating can increase desires. Meat eaters are greedy. For the instinct of protecting and cherishing life, there is no difference between human and animal. For every living being, he himself is afraid of death. How could he eat the meat of others? Anyone who wants to eat meat should first discern the pain of cutting his own body, and then discern the pains of all living beings, and then give up meat eating. Lankavatara Sutra.
Kasyapa asked the Buddha, why did the Lord previously allow bhiksus or monks to eat the 3 pure meats, or even 9 pure meats? The Buddha said, it was so instituted following the needs of the occasion, and as gradual steps in the actual segregation from eating meat. Bhiksus means monks. Shakyamuni Buddha, Nirvana Sutra.
Meat eaters have so many countless offenses, thus vegetarians have masses of countless merits and virtues. A vegetarian is a person who adopts an animal-free diet. Lankavatara Sutra.
If no one eats meat, then no one kills living beings for food. The killings are for the buyers. Thus, the buying is the same as the killing. Therefore, meat eating can obstruct the holy way. Lankavatara Sutra.
Also, after the birth of the baby, care must be exercised not to kill any animal in order to feed the mother with meaty delicacies, and not to assemble many relatives to drink liquor or eat meat. Because at the difficult time of birth, there are innumerable evil demons, monsters and goblins who want to consume the smelly blood. And it is I who have earlier commanded the deities and divinities in charge of the household and the land to protect the mother and child, making them safe and happy and gaining benefits for them. However, some people, seeing that the mother and child are safe and happy, then collectively provide some offerings and thanks to the divinities in charge of the local land by ignorantly and adversely resorting to the killing of animals for consumption, and thus they bring down curses upon themselves which are detrimental to both the mother and the baby. Kshitigarbha Sutra.
A disciple of the Buddha must not deliberately eat meat. He should not eat the flesh of any sentient being. The meat eater forfeits the seed of great compassion, severs the seed of the Buddha nature, and causes animal and transcendental beings to avoid him. Those who do so are guilty of countless offences. Brahmajala Sutra.
Now in this Lankavatara Sutra I say, at all times all kinds of meat are inedible unexceptionally. Mahamati, I forbid meat eating not only for one time, I mean that both in present and future. Meat eating is forbidden. Lankavatara Sutra.
All men tremble at punishment. All men fear death. Likening others to oneself, one should neither slay nor cause to slay. Dhammapada Sutra.
A man is not noble or elect because he injures living creatures. He is called noble because he does not injure living beings. Dhammapada Sutra.
Mahamati. In the future there will be some ignorant persons saying that many Buddhist precepts allow meat eating. They love the flavors of meats due to their past meat-eating habit. They said those words simply according to their own views. But in fact, Buddhas and sages have never said that meats are foods. Lankavatara Sutra. Gaudai.
If you eat meat and want to practice spiritually, your spirit is contaminated with low-level energy and become heavy, thereby cannot rise above the middle realm. The true teaching of the Great Vehicle.
Those who eat meat break the 5 constant virtues.
1. Killing animals to satisfy our taste is inhumane. 2. Killing animals, causing separation in their family in order to feed our relatives, are unrighteous. 3. Making befoul food offerings from animal meat to the deities is disrespectful. 4. Praising the eating of animals as if it is God's gift so as to justify the killing of animals is unwise. 5. Lure and trick the animals into the snare is untruthful.
Worldly people must keep the 5 constant virtues. Breaking these intentionally is to break the moral principles. Eating vegetarian is the best way to nurture our body. Vegetarian means an animal-free diet. Gaudai, union of the 3 religions.
Question. Please explain how vegetarianism and eating meat influence our body. Answer. Because animals' meat mostly contains virus, so when one eats the meat, the virus will follow in and destroy our body. Also, meat produces toxic gas, thereby making our body tired and sluggish. Those are the detriment to the material body. As for the mind, meat contains animals' traits, thus making our mind dense, and is especially harmful for the 6 senses, which is our spirit. If you eat vegetarian, you won't be harmed by the virus and exhausted by the toxic gas. Vegetarianism means an animal-free diet. Law of the 3 bodies. Teachings of the saints.
10 days of vegetarianism will create some benevolence in our nature. Due to the lessening of the animal's flesh and blood, our heart is gentler somewhat. 1 month of vegetarianism will acquire blessings and attract the protection of deities, thus one may avoid many disasters. With 1 year of vegetarianism, one will acquire a lot of merits due to the reducing of much bad deeds, and thereby attract the blessings naturally. With 10 years of vegetarianism, radiant light will emanate from the top of one's head, and the deities and guardian angels who always accompany the light will protect one from all catastrophes, and the devils dare not intrude or disturb. Thus one develops wisdom and intelligence. One's appearance will also brighten due to these blessings. If one is a vegetarian for life, his 3 generations will enjoy good fortune. Vegetarianism means an animal-free diet. Teachings of the Saints on Vegetarianism.
Please do not harm animals. The act of killing will reduce your merit. Although they are small, they are given the same chance of evolution. See there, the animals know how to live in harmony. Their sentient nature knows the familial bond. Who has the heart to condone the survival of the fittest? Of what use is satisfying your taste if your heart lacks compassion? True teachings of the 3 vehicles.
If you want to end all bad karma or retribution, you must end the killing, because the law of heaven is, a life destroyed must be compensated. If now we want to liberate from this earthly life, we should not owe the debt of blood. Karma means retribution. Teachings of the Saints about keeping the 10 precepts, abstaining from killing.
The most important thing is to stop killing, because animals also have souls and understand like humans. If out of ignorance we end an animal's life, then we incur a very terrible hatred, and they will wait for us to compensate for their life, because if we kill and eat them, then we owe them the blood debt. The more we owe, the more we must repay, and if this demand for repayment continues, when can we be free to return to the heavenly kingdom? Teachings of the Saints about keeping the 10 precepts, abstaining from killing.
As for the small animals, though very tiny, they can crawl and move. They also fear death and have a soul. Thus, killing them also diminishes our merits, and sometimes we even have to compensate with our life. Therefore, for the worldly people, even though they don't practice spiritually, they should avoid killing as much as possible to minimize the bad retribution. When making offering annually to our ancestors to pay tribute to them, if we kill pigs, cows, chickens, ducks, it's our deceased ancestors who would have to bear all these bad karma, or retribution. Karma means retribution. Teachings of the Saints about keeping the 10 precepts, abstaining from killing.
Christianity and Judaism.
And God said, Behold, I have given you every herb-bearing seed, which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat, and to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creepeth upon the earth, wherein there is a living soul, I have given every green herb for food. And it was so. Genesis 1, Holy Bible.
And the Lord God commanded the man, saying, Of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat. Genesis, Holy Bible.
Even as the green herb have I given you all things, but flesh with the life thereof, which is the blood thereof, shall ye not eat. And surely your blood of your lives will I require. At the hand of every beast will I require it, and at the hand of man. At the hand of every man's brother will I require the life of man. Genesis, Holy Bible.
To what purpose is the multitude of your sacrifices unto me, saith the Lord? I am full of the burnt offerings of rams, and the fat of fed beasts, and I delight not in the blood of bullocks, or of lambs, or of he-goats. And when ye spread forth your hands, I will hide mine eyes from you. Yea, when you make many prayers, I will not hear. Your hands are full of innocent blood. Put away the evils of your doings from before mine eyes. Cease to do evil. Isaiah, Holy Bible.
Better is dinner of herbs where love is, than a stalled ox and hatred therewith. Proverb, Holy Bible.
It is better not to eat meat or drink wine, or to do anything else that will cause any man to stumble. Romans, New Testament of the Christian Bible.
Daniel then said to the guard, whom the chief official had appointed over him, Please test your servants for 10 days. Give us nothing but vegetables to eat and water to drink. Then compare our appearance with that of the young men who eat the royal food, and treat your servants in accordance with what you see. So he agreed to this and tested them for 10 days. At the end of the 10 days, they looked healthier and better nourished than any of the young men who ate the royal food. So the guard took away their meat and the wine they were to drink, and gave them vegetables instead. Holy Christian Bible.
It shall be a perpetual statute for your generations throughout all your dwellings, that ye say neither fat nor blood. Leviticus, King James Bible.
Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, Ye shall eat no manner of fat of ox, or of sheep, or of goat. Leviticus, King James Bible.
And the fat of the beast that dieth of itself, and the fat of that which is torn with beasts, may be used in any other use, but ye shall in no wise eat of it. Leviticus, King James Bible.
Moreover, ye shall eat no manner of blood, whether it be of fowl or of beast, in any of your dwellings. Leviticus, King James Bible.
And whatsoever man there be of the house of Israel, or of the strangers that sojourn among you, that eateth any manner of blood, I will even set my face against that soul that eateth blood, and will cut him off from among his people. Leviticus, King James Bible.
Therefore I said unto the children of Israel, No soul of you shall eat blood, neither shall any stranger that sojourneth among you eat blood. Leviticus, King James Bible.
For it is the life of all flesh, the blood of it is for the life thereof. Therefore I said unto the children of Israel, Ye shall eat the blood of no manner of flesh, for the life of all flesh is the blood thereof. Whosoever eateth it shall be cut off. Leviticus, King James Bible.
Ye shall not eat anything with the blood, neither shall ye use enchantment, nor observe times. Leviticus, King James Bible.
Do not be among those who give themselves to wine drinking, or among those who make themselves full with meat. Proverbs, Holy Bible.
Meats for the belly, and the belly for meats, but God shall destroy both it and them. 1 Corinthians, Holy Bible.
Thorns also and thistles shall it bring forth to thee, and thou shalt eat the herbs of the field. Genesis, Holy King James Bible, Old Testament.
He that killeth an ox is as if he slew a man. Isaiah, Holy King James Bible, Old Testament.
St. Paul, it is good neither to eat flesh, nor to drink wine, nor anything whereby thy brother stumbleth, or is offended, or is made weak. Romans, Holy Bible. Confucianism.
All men have a mind which cannot bear to see the sufferings of others. So is the superior man affected towards animals, that having seen them alive, he cannot bear to see them die. Having heard their dying cries, he cannot bear to eat their flesh. Mencius, King Hui of Liang.
How does a saintly king treat animals? He would like to see them live, and cannot bear to see them die. Hearing their wails, he cannot eat their flesh, for he does not have the heart. Xin Shu.
Before the art of cooking was known, primitive people ate only vegetables. Thereupon the sage taught the men to attend to farming and to plant trees to supply the people with food. And the sole purpose of securing food is to increase energy, satisfy hunger, strengthen the body, and appease the stomach. Mo Xi, indulgence in excess.
Essene Scripture.
Let not a man make himself abominable with any living creature or creeping thing, be eating of them. The Zadokite document.
Thou hast created plants for the service of man, and all things that spring from the earth, that he may be fed in abundance. Hymns of the Initiates.
God giveth the grains and fruits of the earth for food, and for righteous man truly there is no other lawful sustenance for the body. The Gospel of the Holy 12.
And Jesus said unto them, Verily I say unto you, they who partake of benefits which are gotten by wronging one of God's creatures cannot be righteous, nor can they touch holy things, or teach the mysteries of the kingdom, whose hands are stained with blood, or whose mouths are defiled with flesh. The Gospel of the Holy 12.
Not by shedding innocent blood, therefore, but by living a righteous life shall you find the peace of God. Gospel of the Holy 12.
I am come to end the sacrifices and feasts of blood, and if ye cease not offering and eating of flesh and blood, the wrath of God shall not cease from you. Gospel of the Holy 12.
For I tell you truly, he who kills himself, and who eats the flesh of slain beasts eats the body of death. For in his blood every drop of their blood turns to poison, in his breath their breath to stink, and in his flesh their flesh to boils, in his bones their bones to chalk, in his bowels their bowels to decay, in his eyes their eyes to scales, in his ears their ears to waxy issue, and their death will become his death. The Essene Gospel of Peace.
Kill not, neither eat the flesh of your innocent prey, lest ye become the slaves of Satan. For that is the path of sufferings, and it leads unto death. But do the will of God, and his angels may serve you on the way of life. The Essene Gospel of Peace.
And eating of their flesh, and drinking of their blood to their own destruction, corrupted their bodies, and shortened their days. Even as the Gentiles, who knew not the truth, or who knowing it, have changed it into a lie. The Gospel of the Holy 12.
God in the beginning gave to man the fruits of the earth for food, and did not make him lower than the ape or the ox, or the horse or the sheep, that he should kill and eat the flesh and blood of his fellow creatures. Ye believe that Moses indeed commanded such creatures to be slain and offered in sacrifice and eaten, and so do ye in the temple. But behold, a greater than Moses is herein, and he cometh to put away the bloody sacrifices of the law, and the feasts on them, and to restore to you the pure oblation and unbloody sacrifice as in the beginning, even the grains and fruits of the earth. Of that which ye offer unto God in purity shall ye eat, but of that kind which ye offer not in purity shall ye not eat. For the hour cometh when your sacrifices and feasts of blood shall cease, and ye shall worship God with a holy worship and a pure oblation. The Gospel of the Holy 12.
Behold the fields yielding their increase, and the fruit-bearing trees and the herbs. Woe to the strong who misuse their strength. Woe to the hunters, for they shall be hunted. The Gospel of the Holy 12, Lection 14.
Hinduism.
You must not use your God-given body for killing God's creatures, whether they are human, animal, or whatever. Yajur Veda.
By not killing any living being, one becomes fit for salvation. Manusmriti.
The purchaser of flesh performs himsa, or violence, by his wealth. He who eats flesh does so by enjoying its taste. The killer does himsa by actually tying and killing the animal. Thus, there are three forms of killing: he who brings flesh or sends for it, he who cuts off the limbs of an animal, and he who purchases, sells, or cooks flesh and eats it. All of these are to be considered meat-eaters. Himsa means violence. Mahabharata Anusasanika Parva.
He who desires to attain supreme peace should on no account eat the flesh of any animal in the world. Mahabharata Anusasanika Parva.
Flesh cannot be obtained without killing creatures, and heaven cannot be attained if creatures are killed. Therefore, flesh should be discarded. Manusmriti.
He who gives counsel or order to kill, he who cuts off any limb, he who actually puts an animal to death, the purchaser of flesh, and he who eats flesh, all of these are to be styled as killers. Manusmriti.
That creature whose flesh I eat in this world would eat mine in the next world. Manusmriti.
Meat-eaters take repeated births in various wombs, and are put every time to unnatural death through forcible suffocation. After every death, they go to the Kumbhipaka hell, where they are baked on fire. Mahabharata Anusasanika Parva.
The sins generated by himsa or violence curtail the life of the perpetrator of himsa or violence. Therefore, those who are anxious for their welfare should abstain from meat eating. Himsa means violence. Mahabharata Anusasanika Parva.
Those who for their personal pleasure take the life of harmless creatures do not attain happiness in this life or in the life hereafter. In view of the method through which flesh is acquired, and considering the suffering to creatures in fastening with cord and killing them, man should give up meat eating of all sorts. Manusmriti.
Prajapati says that eating meat of any sort is a great evil, and abstinence from doing so is highly meritorious. Yamasmriti.
He who desires to augment his own flesh by eating the flesh of other creatures lives in misery in whatever species of beings he may take his birth. Mahabharata Anusasanika Parva. No man is more debased than the man who wishes to increase his flesh by eating the flesh of other creatures. He is hard-hearted to the core. Mahabharata Anusasanika Parva. O child, there is no doubt about the fact that flesh grows out of semen, therefore it is highly detestable. Flesh eating is thus a great evil, and abstinence from it is a virtue. Mahabharata Anusasanika Parva.
He who abstains from flesh eating and is kindly disposed towards all creatures becomes an object of shelter to them and gains their confidence. Mahabharata.
He lives long and always remains healthy. The virtue gained by abstinence from meat eating is so great that it cannot be equal to the virtue of making gifts of even gold, cow, or land. Mahabharata Anusasanika Parva.
What is the good way? It is the path that reflects on how it may avoid killing any creature. Tirukural.
All that lives will press palms together in prayerful adoration of those who refuse to slaughter and savor meat. Tirukural.
What is virtuous conduct? It is never destroying life, for killing leads to every other sin. Tirukural.
Those who are ignorant of real dharma or true teachings, and, though wicked and haughty, account themselves virtuous, kill animals without any feeling of remorse or fear of punishment. Further, in their next lives, such sinful persons will be eaten by the same creatures they have killed in this world. Dharma means true teaching. Srimad Bhagavatam.
Meat can never be obtained without injury to living creatures, and injury to sentient beings is detrimental to the attainment of heavenly bliss. Let him therefore shun the use of meat. Having well considered the disgusting origin of flesh and the cruelty of fettering and slaying corporal beings, let him entirely abstain from eating flesh. Manu Samhita.
He who permits the slaughter of an animal, he who cuts it up, he who kills it, he who buys or sells meat, he who cooks it, he who serves it up, and he who eats it, must all be considered as the slayers of the animal. There is no greater sinner than a man who seeks to increase the bulk of his own flesh by the flesh of other beings. Manu Samhita.
By subsisting on pure fruits and roots, and by eating food fit for ascetics in the forest, one does not gain so great a reward as by entirely avoiding the use of flesh. Mihe, or flesh, will devour in the next world, whose flesh I eat in this life. The wise declare this to be the real meaning of the word flesh. Mamsa. Mehe means flesh. Manu Samhita.
Also, by not killing any living being, one becomes fit for salvation. Manu Samhita.
The sins generated by violence curtail the life of the perpetrator. Therefore, even those who are anxious for their own welfare should abstain from meat eating. Mahabharata Anusasanika Parva.
Cow killers are condemned to rot in hellish life for as many thousands of years as there are hairs on the bodies of the cow. Adi Lila.
Since you Mohammedans and others cannot bring killed animals back to life, you are responsible for killing them. Therefore you are going to hell. There is no way for your deliverance. Adi Lila.
The very name of cow is Agnya, or not to be killed, indicating that they should never be slaughtered. Who then could slay them? Surely one who kills a cow or a bull commits a heinous crime. Agnya means not to be killed. Mahabharat Shanti Parv.
Hua Buddhism.
Don't kill animals to make offering. Sages and saints are not biased. Your sickness is due to previous life bad karma or retribution, or because of this life's violence. Karma means retribution. Encouraging goodness scripture.
Human beings treat animals even much more ruthlessly. They kill animals for food, for superstitious reasons, forgetting that animals also have souls, also have bodies, also wish to live like us human. Thus, please let the animals live. Care for them, especially the domestic animals, such as buffaloes, cows, horses, dogs, cats, etc. Don't kill them because they have helped us in our daily work. Essential knowledge for practitioners of goodness about the three karma.
Islam.
Forbidden to you for food are dead meat, blood, the flesh of swine, and that on which hath been invoked the name of other than Allah, that which hath been killed by strangling, or by a violent blow, or by a headlong fall, or by being gored to death. Quran, the feast. Al-Maidah.
All the creatures on earth and all the birds that fly with wings are communities like you. To their Lord all these creatures will be summoned. Quran, Livestock Al-An'am.
And by means of this water we bring forth for you gardens of date palms and vines, wherein you have fruit abundant, and whereof you eat, as well as a tree that issues from the lands adjoining Mount Sinai, yielding oil and relish for all to eat. Quran, the believers. Al-Mu'minun.
The one who made the earth habitable for you and the sky a structure. He sends down from the sky water to produce all kinds of fruits for your sustenance. Quran, the Heifer, Al-Baqarah.
We grow in it gardens of date palms and grapes, and we cause springs to gush out therein. This is to provide them with fruits, and to let them manufacture with their own hands whatever they need. Quran, Y.S. Yashin.
You will have in it all kinds of fruits from which you eat. Quran, Ornaments, Al-Zukhruf.
And we sent from the sky blessed water, to grow with it gardens and grains to be harvested, tall date palms with clustered fruit, provisions for the people. Quran, Qaf.
Allah will not give mercy to anyone except those who give mercy to other creatures. Where there is an abundance of vegetables, a host of angels will descend on that place. Prophet Muhammad, Hadith.
At one time the Rasul, or Prophet of Allah, said to his cousin, Ali, O Ali, you should not eat meat. If you eat meat for 40 days, those qualities will come within you, those actions will come within you, their blood will come within you, their qualities and their actions will come within you. Because of that, your human qualities will change, your compassionate qualities will change, the essence of your body will change. O Ali, you should never eat meat or flesh. You have to diminish that. Do not eat that. Rasul means prophet. Muhammad Rahim Bawa Muhayyaddin, Islamic Sufi saint.
Jainism.
A true monk should not accept such food and drink as has been especially prepared for him, involving the slaughter of living beings. He should not partake of a meal which contains but a particle of forbidden food. This is the law of him who is rich in control. Whatever he suspects, he may not eat. A man who guards his soul and subdues his senses should never assent to anybody killing living beings. Sutra Kritanga.
Sikhism.
If you say that God resides in all, why do you kill a hen? Guru Granth Sahib.
It is foolish to kill animals by cruelty and call it sanctified food. Guru Granth Sahib.
You kill life and call it an act of religion. Then what is irreligion? Guru Granth Sahib.
If blood touches a cloth, it becomes unfit for use. If blood or meat is consumed by a human being, how can his heart be pure? Guru Granth Sahib.
To take what rightfully belongs to another is like a Muslim eating pork, or a Hindu eating beef. Our Guru, our spiritual guide, only stands by us if we do not eat any meat or dead bodies. Guru Granth Sahib.
Kabir, the tyrant is doing tyranny by killing animals, even if he calls it halal or legal meat. When his account will be called for in the court of the Lord, then who will be held accountable? Guru Granth Sahib, by Enlightened Master Saint Kabir Ji.
Kabir, the dinner of beans and rice is excellent if it is flavoured with salt. Who would get his throat cut to have meat with his bread? Guru Granth Sahib, by Enlightened Master Saint Kabir Ji.
Kabir, they oppress living beings and kill them and call it proper. When the Lord calls for their account, what will their condition be? Guru Granth Sahib, by Enlightened Master Saint Kabir Ji.
Kabir, it is tyranny to use force and kill. The Lord shall call you to account. When your account is called for, your face and mouth shall be beaten. Guru Granth Sahib, by Enlightened Master Saint Kabir Ji.
Do not say that the Vedas, the Bible, and the Quran are false. Those who do not contemplate on them are false. You say that the one Lord is in all, so why do you kill chickens? O Mullah, tell me, is this God's justice? The doubts of your mind have not been dispelled. You seize a living creature and then bring it home and kill its body. You have killed only the clay. The light of the soul passes into another form. So tell me, what have you killed, and what good are your purifications? Why do you bother to wash your face? And why do you bother to bow your head in the mosque? Your heart is full of hypocrisy. What good are your prayers or your pilgrimage to Mecca? You are impure. You do not understand the pure Lord. You do not know his mystery. Says Kabir, you have missed out on paradise. Your mind is set on hell. Guru Granth Sahib.
Those mortals who consume marijuana, flesh and wine, no matter what pilgrimages, fasts and rituals they follow, they will all go to hell. Guru Granth Sahib.
Bhagat Kabir says, the best food is eating khatri or vegetable, where nectar sweet is the salt. You eat hunted meat, but which animal is willing to have their head cut? Khatri means vegetable. Guru Granth Sahib.
Avarice is a dog, falsehood the sweeper, and cheating the eating of meat. Guru Granth Sahib.
The world eats dead carcasses, living by neglect and greed. Like a goblin or a beast, they kill and eat the forbidden carcasses of meat. So control your urges, or else you will be seized by the Lord and thrown into the tortures of hell. Guru Granth Sahib.
Just as clothes stained with blood become impure, one cannot have pure consciousness when one consumes blood and flesh of other beings. Guru Nanak Dev. Guru Granth Sahib.
You kill living beings and call it a righteous action. Tell me, brother, what would you call an unrighteous action? You call yourself the most excellent sage. Then who would you call a butcher? Guru Granth Sahib.
Falsehood is my dagger, and to eat by defrauding is meat. Guru Granth Sahib.
Taoism.
Buy captive animals and give them freedom. How commendable is abstinence that dispenses with the butcher. While walking, be mindful of worms and ants. Be cautious with fire, and do not set mountain woods or forests ablaze.
Do not go into the mountain to catch birds in nets, nor to the water to poison fishes and minnows. Do not butcher the ox that plows your field. Tract of the Quiet Way.
Truk Lam Zen Buddhism.
Eating fruits and vegetables, suffering not therefore the bad karma or retribution of the mouth. Karma means retribution. Live in the world, enjoy the Tao.
Zoroastrianism.
Those plants I, Ahura Mazda, or God, rain down upon the earth to bring food to the faithful and fodder to the beneficent cow, to bring food to my people that they may live on it, and fodder to the beneficent cow. Ahura Mazda means God. Avesta Venidad Vargard.